Congressman. We're going to open it up to questions right now. There's someone floating around the audience with a live microphone. She's in the back. She's right behind.
As I was going to ask you, as the first Muslim member of Congress, and seeing what has happened over these first few months of President Obama's administration, and even during the election, you know, I think to a lot of us, it really looks like the things that people are saying are if they're very clever racism, basically, is the way that I would put it. And I'm wondering if, because this is obviously a new thing, having an African-American president and things like that, do you think that the vitriol that's out there against the president, you know, pictures of him as Hitler and things like that, is new? Is it something that's more raw than it used to be, or do we just have sort of amnesia or have forgotten how bitter the 90s were? Or is there something different out there, or are we just reacting to it again?
You know, I have to say that is a great question. I'm not just sucking up to you, man. I think that's a good question. But I want to just send you back to the archives to check out what opponents of JFK were saying about him at the time. They were calling him a communist. They were saying all kinds of horrible things about him. In fact, when he was killed in Dealey Plaza back in 1963, November, there were posters up saying that I think that he was wanted, stuff like that. You know, let me tell you, we've had, I mean, look, Reagan was shot. I believe Buchanan was shot. Am I right about that? Somebody correct me, I could be wrong. McKinley, thank you. Mr. Black straightens me out on my history lesson. We got a bunch of South High kids, and I wanted them to know, see if they could tell me. South High, everybody. Yeah, anyway, close enough. But you know, the reality is that we have had a contentious, hard-fought, wrangle-tangle, knockout, drag-down political culture for a long, long time. Now, you can even look up cartoons that they were writing about Washington and Jefferson, and these things were ugly, man. And there were people who were writing about Thomas Jefferson's relationship with Sally Hemings, his African-American slave, you know, and they were writing about it in a very unfriendly way. So in a way, it is sort of part of our political culture. It is the underside of democracy. If you say people have a right to free expression, they're going to express themselves in ways that you don't like sometimes, and that's just taking the good with the bad, if you know what I mean. But on the other hand, this is new. We've never had a black president. We've never had a president whose middle name is Hussein, whose father, in fact, is a Muslim. This is all new for us. And so, yeah, there is a new kind of twist to it. But I'm going to tell you my honest view. I'm so proud of America, because despite all this nasty stuff you see, it's clearly a small minority that's doing it. Most Americans, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, conservatives or liberals, do respect the president, you know, and do want to you know, they may disagree with his policy, but they do get it that he's the president. And so I'm proud of this. I mean, this country, I mean, look at it, man. In 1865, somebody who looks like Barack Obama would be the functional equivalent of that bench. A piece of property, like a puppy dog on a chain. He would be property. The fact that America, no, what country has ever done that? To say we will take people from a state of chattel slavery to being eligible to be the president of the United States within a few generations. I'm telling you, this is a towering achievement in the history of humanity. And so, yeah, it's kind of, you know, bad that people are acting so ugly, but this is something new, different, and you should be proud of it as an American, that any American, no matter what ethnic background they come from, can be president. It's a great thing.
Thank you. The lovely young woman in the back of the benches area has a live microphone. If anyone has a question for the congressman, this is a unique opportunity. Ma'am, okay, we got one right up here in the front. Can you scoot to the front here? And this lovely woman here in the sunglasses has a question for the congressman. Thank you.
Yes, Congressman, I'd like to ask you, my husband retired and he was
Can you put the microphone a little closer to your mouth, ma'am?
He was offered his health plan for both himself and myself, completely covered. That was one of his perks of retirement. Now, we understand that that could possibly be taken away from us with the health reform, and we have yet to have anybody explain it to us in words that we would understand that that health plan wouldn't be taken away from us because of this health reform. And I agree, everyone should have a health plan. I feel sorry for people that don't. But as retirees in our 80s, we don't want our health plan taken away from us through a health reform that it seems like it's being rushed so quick. And I think it should take its time when it's involving so many people in the United States. Thank you.
Well, let me just say thank you for asking that very pointed question. In fact, I was hoping somebody would ask me about this. Ma'am, there is nothing in this health care reform bill that would threaten your health care, not one thing. I'm telling you that you have employer-based health care is not going to change. It's going to be there. The fact is, you may have lower premiums than you may have had, or you have no premium. Yeah, no, but there's no reasonable, I mean, if that is a contract that you have with your employer, that's not going to change at all. Not because of health care reform. I've seen no evidence that that is true, but I have seen a lot of people who don't want health reform trying to scare senior citizens, and I think this is a very bad thing to do. I mean, the fact is that seniors, obviously, because all of us, if we're lucky enough to become a senior one day, because you don't have to, it's not guaranteed. You're going to go to the doctor more because you're getting older, and so this is a population that is particularly nervous about what this is all going to mean. And so for people to try to make seniors nervous about their health care and what's going to happen with reform, I think is wrong. Ma'am, I'm telling you, there is nothing in health care reform, not one thing, that is going to change the situation that you have with your health care and your husband's health care. And I actually want somebody who says that I'm not right about this to identify the specific provision that is going to change that. There is no provision. It's like the death penalty. They're not in there. It's just not there. They're trying to take something that makes sense and lying about it. And I just want you to know that, Brian, wave your hand. What Brian and I will do is we will send you information. We'll mail it to you or call you about it or email it to you or whatever you want, just to help you understand that this is not the case. So thank you for asking that question. And I'm telling you, that is not the case. And all these people heard me say it, that's not the way it's going to go. So thanks for asking.
Thank you, Congressman. This is a unique opportunity to ask the Congressman questions about, we have concerns. We've got time for one or two more questions. We'll take the back of the room first, back of the area first here, right here.
Yeah, how you doing today, sir?
How you doing, sir?
All right, I just want to welcome you to Minnesota. I hope you can do a good thing for us. And I just want to say that we need to change in our insurance because the small businesses aren't really helping out right now. When you work with for someone and you can't have insurance, then you got to take your money out of your little paycheck you got. Then you got to go down here and pay, and almost all your paycheck goes to insurance today. That's all I could say. And maybe you'll run for president one day because Obama did it, and I don't see why you can't. All
right, buddy. Well, let me tell you, man. I think well, first of all, you should know that who employs Americans the most? The GEs and the GMs of this world, or small business? Answer, small business. Now, this healthcare reform bill has special provisions to help small business meet their obligations and to provide healthcare insurance. Also, that's one of the things about the public option. The people who if they just can't afford their healthcare, they can go to the public option. Remember, we talked about that a moment ago. I'm telling you that exorbitant premiums are killing small business. If you're an owner, it's like, look, I want to provide my people with health care, but on the other hand, I can hardly afford it. I'm a small businessman, I'm not a healthcare company, right? So what I'm saying is, there's special provisions, there's subsidies available to help small business, and this is gonna work, man. It's gonna help small business in particular, so thanks for asking about that.
We want to thank the Congressman for stopping by. Can we have a round of applause for
everybody.
Congressman Keith Ellison stopping by on his Labor Day holiday, and a round of applause for Washington correspondent for MINPO, Cynthia Dezikis. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you so much, sir.